No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hello, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets, cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocket here and stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em.
Hey, welcome to the Bayou Recap, where the passion runs deep as the Mississippi and every play echoes through the heart of Louisiana. From Friday night lights to Super Bowl Sundays, we break down the best of the boot. This is where Louisiana sports live, breathe, and roar. This is also where the 2025 College World Series national champions come to talk baseball. What's good with you, my boy?
Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man.
Man, listen. It got to a point where I stopped worrying about maybe we could win. This team is hot. They've got this streak. No. And you know, it got to a point where I'll start making edits like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna post after the game. As soon as this is, I'm gonna post this, because I had no more worries. I got to a point I was just that confident because it was something. There's anytime there's a championship, there's something about a team that tells you, hey, this is gonna happen. We'll talk about that tonight. We'll talk about those points in the game and in a season and stuff. I don't even want to do initial reactions yet. Let's go ahead and knock our sponsor out the way first. Give a shout out to our sponsors over at Dubby. Dubby is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers, individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. Dubby is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolytes. W achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Try W today by scanning the QR code on your screen or visit them at the website bit.ly/NoChillW. W, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. Now let's talk about these Tigers. And initial reaction to today.
Oh man. Yesterday, I thought, it might be a dogfight type of game coming into today. Just because, Coastal down today, they season on the brink, I felt like they was gonna go out there and give it they all and do whatever they had to do to keep their season going for one more game. So in my mind, it was gonna be a close, similar to what yesterday was, one run type game, very close. But when I woke up this morning, I was very confident, dog. I just had a feeling that today LSU was gonna close it out. And as closer to the game as it got, I just really felt like Einstein was gonna go out there and have a hell of a performance. And I know it wasn't his best performance, but it was enough to put us in the position of where, you know, we could go with Shores to lock the game down, so I think it worked exactly as the LSU fan would have scripted it. You get the complete game from Cade in game one, an absolute gem of a performance. It'll go down as one of the greatest pitching performances in LSU history, considering the stakes that was on the line, and you were playing an opponent that had won 26 straight games and was hotter than anybody had ever been coming into a College World Series final. So going out there and silencing them and completely just dominating them the way he did, and having every arm available in game two, and Einstein going out there giving you 6, 7, whatever he gave you. I think it was 6 and a third.
6 1/3.
Yeah. And then being able to just go lights out with your bullpen after that is pretty impressive, man. And that's exactly how LSU would have scripted it if they had the opportunity to.
I said last night in Spaces, once Coastal Carolina lost, how would they respond to a loss?
Bingo. I said the same thing on the radio Friday.
Yeah. I don't think they will be able to handle it. I think that the pressure will get to them. We put some runs on the board. I think the pressure will get to them. I do want to say this. I want to give major kudos to Coastal Carolina for the season that they had. A lot of people didn't expect them to be there. They didn't think, a lot of people said, well, I ain't gonna say a lot. There were some people who said they didn't deserve a number one seed, didn't deserve to host a regional. And they showed you why. They were one of the best teams in the country, and they proved it. I also think that any other team that they would have played today, they complete that comeback, and they're playing tomorrow for a chance to win their second national title. The difference is they ran into a team that had determination. They ran into a team who faces this kind of pressure week in and week out. They ran into a team who has a fan base so passionate that they RV'd, they drove, they hitchhiked, they flew, they Cajun Navy. They did whatever they could to get all the way out to Omaha, Nebraska, and make it Alex Box of the North.
Yeah.
If you look in that crowd, you can hear it on TV. You can see it. Anytime they pan the crowd, looking at it on TV, you would kind of think sometimes, man, this is, it's kind of evenly matched. But if you listen to the crowd, you can hear it's nothing but LSU fans. And then when they showed a panned out view and they showed that little pocket of teal color and everybody else is wearing purple, gold, or white, you knew that this was going to be a huge problem for Coastal Carolina. I knew that coming into this game, once LSU won yesterday, I had no doubts that today was going to be, I'm not going to say easy. By no means did I think it was going to be easy. And I still don't think it was easy. But I knew that LSU would be able to handle the pressure because they had a man who is not Ed Orgeron, managing his team and coaching his team. And they had a pitching coach who has come to LSU, was ridiculed when he first got to LSU, and has done nothing but turn pitchers into problems since he got here. And we posted a stat we posted earlier today. There have been 3 complete game shutouts in the College World Series history. Well, since they went to the best of 3 format in 2003, there have been 3 complete game shutouts
in the finals.
in the finals. 2016, 2018, and 2025. 2016, the head coach was one Jay Johnson at Arizona. 2018, the pitching coach was Nate Yeskie at Oregon State. 2025, they're both on the same team coaching. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I would not have been surprised if we saw another complete game shutout today.
Well, I don't know about shutout. That's pretty damn impressive. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you though. But I think something you said Coastal Carolina, against any other team, the comeback that they made, they would be playing them.
Mm-hmm.
I think possibly if Cade Anderson doesn't put the complete game shutout yesterday, and you have to use Chase Shores for 2-3 innings yesterday, they very well might be able to complete their comeback today.
That's true.
You know, because Chase Shores isn't the guy going out there after Einstein. You know what I mean? So that Cade Anderson's complete game really hurt Coastal twice because they couldn't touch him yesterday. But then today, whenever they were able to get the starter out the game, you had everybody fresh for LSU because they didn't have to use anybody yesterday. So I think that they really just were overwhelmed when Shores came in. You know, he throwing 102, 101. You know, they just can't. They can't. They wasn't ready for that, bro. And so I think that I think Cade Anderson really saved LSU twice by going a complete game Saturday. Not saying that Coastal would have still found a way to win, but I think that
Right.
they have a better chance to win if they don't have to go against a fresh Chase Shores, you know, while they was making their comeback.
I can completely agree with that. That's actually a really good take. Yeah, that's what I just talked about. Tyler said, "You remember the belly aches about Yeski?" Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, one of the things we kept hearing, oh, he gets pitchers hurt. Every time we've had a pitcher, he gets hurt. If I'm not mistaken, one of those pitchers who got hurt under Yeski was Chase Shores. I want to talk about this, Ant. You talked about writing a script. You've got a LSU team coming into this series, the finals, where you had Jared Jones struggling, but he bounces back.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Braswell struggle and continue to struggle offensively. The one thing that he didn't do was struggle was defensively. I'm gonna tell you what I love about the whole story and how this goes. Braswell's last at bat at LSU is a hit.
Yep.
It may not matter for anything, may not count it, but he got to leave LSU with a hit.
Yep. Yep.
And a ring. Same for Stanfield. He got a championship out of it.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a guy like Daniel Dickinson, you know, who's first here from small school. Probably thought he was going to play shortstop when he got here, but he played the whole season at second base. Does a great job. Kind of gets bumped down in the batting order. Had his slumps. Jay Johnson said today that he played with a broken bone in his hand for like the last 5-6 games, which might explain why he was doing so much bunting. But still, like he comes, he puts his ego to the side, plays plays second base, hits eighth. You know what I mean? And doesn't really complain or make it about him, and he gets rewarded with a championship. You know, you look at a guy like uh Josh Pearson who came back, got to play with his brother, and he didn't play at all in the final.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, you could argue you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. For some of the moments he's had this season, whether it be hits, uh, just getting on base and causing havoc. So I think Hernandez was huge at times this season. Uh, like everybody really played their part, and you can't really just look at any one, two people and say, "Oh, they carried this team to a championship." Like it was really a whole collective team effort, and it might not be the most star-studded in terms of firepower when we think of like names, like the Bregmans, the Skeens, Cruises. You know what I mean? It might not have one of those type guys, but it's got a bunch of just ball players who just go out there and every game they go out there and feel like they got a chance to win it, and they never out of a game. I mean, you you down in against Arkansas, bro, in the bottom of the ninth inning, 3 runs, 2 runs. You know what I mean? And with 2 outs, you still find a way to score 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth. To knock Arkansas off and find a way to go to the finals. So like they never count themselves out. Like you mentioned, the guys who came into Omaha kind of slumping were the main ones that stepped up and had big at bats in Omaha. The big moments, the home run by Bear to tie it up in the eighth against Arkansas. Then the big hit by Bear. Hernandez big hit. Like it was a collective effort and arguably one of the best LSU baseball teams of all time. I mean, if you look at all the championship teams, I think only 2 of them have fewer losses than this team had.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can argue it's up there with that 2009 team. I think they're pretty similar in terms of kind of like I said, the no real true star power and stuff, just a gritty team. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that this team went undefeated in Omaha. The 2009 team lost the game in Omaha. So I think both of them only lost one game in the whole tournament, though. So I think they're pretty comparable. But either way, I mean, they got a stake of being one of the greatest teams of all time to play for a program that's got 8 national championships, and you can say that you were one of the best to ever suit up for that program. That's something to hang your hat on at the end of the day.
Yeah, completely agree. I don't know what to even say, bro, about this team that we hadn't said, but I do want to ask this question to you, man. I kind of mentioned at the beginning. We look at teams like the 2019 LSU football team.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the exact moment that I was like, this team is going to win the national championship. And a lot of people say Texas 3rd and 17.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to mine was Georgia Southern. It was during the Georgia Southern game. It wasn't the score or anything like that. It was the execution of the offense and the domination of it was like everybody was on point. That was the point I knew then. I know this baseball team. I know what point it was for me, but I'm gonna ask you, what point in the season did you know that this team was gonna win it? Or at least had a chance to.
I guess I'm a little more pessimistic because 2019, I didn't know we was winning the national championship till we went into Bama and beat Bama. That's when I knew, okay, yeah, this team can win the national championship. And I'll tell you what play it was in the Bama game that when Tua was scrambling and just fumbled the ball for no reason. I was like, yeah, this year, this the team, this the year for this team, bro. Um, a moment for me this year where I really just was like, okay, yeah, this team. I'm not gonna say I thought that they would win it all, but I kind of was like, okay, yeah, this is a special year for this team. I think it was about 1:30 in the morning. Bear Jones hit a home run that's still flying right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was like, oh yeah, this team got the magic. Like it's the rally possum, or you know what I mean? Like it's the this team got the sprinkle of voodoo on it. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a special year.
Yeah. That's actually, it's funny you say that. I didn't even watch the Tennessee game because it was, say it got bumped so late. Tyler said the 2019 Auburn game for him. The game got bumped so late that I actually forgot the game was going to be on, and I went to sleep and I woke up to seeing all the memes and everything about in the videos, and I was like, oh, and I was like, I was telling Dylan about it, and then so we watched the game the next night. But I was like, this team gonna be special,
Bro.
What solidified for me though, because that was the game I said they could win out. What solidified me when they did it again against Arkansas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, when they that 1:30 game, I had fell asleep on the couch waiting for the game to come back on. And
Mm.
my wife came, woke me up. And when she woke me up, it, I was like, well, the game on, I gotta finish watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was up like 5 minutes before he hit the home run. I was like,
Wow.
woke me up just in time for me to see the home run. But yeah, like the Arkansas game the other night, I woke my wife up when the old boy in left field, when he missed that fly ball and the
Mhm.
run scored, I woke my wife up, dog. Like I was so hyped, bro. That's like I kept saying, bro, like this team cursed in a good way, bro. You know what I mean? Like somebody put
Yeah.
good juju on this team where things just break their way. And like yesterday, so Kyrie walks, right? Then this all-world catcher for Coastal Carolina, who all we heard going into the finals was how great he was, how good he was at stealing strikes. He's probably gonna be a top 10 pick at catcher. You know what I mean? First inning, he has a pass ball. First inning, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just stuff breaking y'all way.
It's
And
good, Jamil.
like That's the that's the kind of stuff that happened for this team like all year, bro. You know what I mean? Just stuff just breaking their way.
Yeah. Um, I'm like I said, beyond mind blown. Uh, Another stat that we put up and we talked about coming into the College World Series. There were 3 teams that had not lost a game in our in the whole tournament.
Mhm.
Arkansas, UCLA, Coastal Carolina. LSU gave all 3 their first loss.
Yeah.
Yes. As a
Beat
matter of
beat
fact,
and
they,
beat
they eliminate they
beat 'em
eliminated 2 of
twice.
them.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say beat them twice, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
um,
I
man.
gotta say, bro, like when Scott Woodward made the decision to hire Jay Johnson, I I was cool with the hire. I didn't see 2 championships in 4 years. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
think nobody did. But there was a large portion of this fan base who wanted a sexier name. You know, they wanted
Mm-hmm.
Bartello, or they wanted O'Sullivan,
Godwin.
something like a Godwin, or Corbin from Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying? They wanted a bigger,
Mm-hmm.
more sexier name. But I don't think there could have been a better fit for the program than Jay Johnson because some of those other guys I feel like would have came in and they would have almost been like bigger than the program or tried to be bigger than the program. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, Jay puts the program in the forefront and he steps back. You know what I mean? Like he wants all the attention, all the recognition, all the spotlight on the program, not on him. And I think that's the perfect fit for where the program is right now, bro. Like you got a guy who's relentless in recruiting, like one of the best talent acquisition guys in the sport. And not only that, but when it comes terms of pushing buttons on game day with your lineup, when to pull a guy and pinch hit for him, or what guy to go with out of the bullpen, and when to use your starter on. Oh, I'm gonna use my Saturday guy on Friday this series because like all those little things that he does that always works out. It seems like I think that's the perfect fit for what LSU needs or needed because he's just all baseball. You know what I mean? And he's always really thinking about like how can I make the program better like with my next decision. And none of it is really about how can I get more out for Jay Johnson. It's always more for the program. Like trying to give his assistants raises instead of taking raises. You know what I'm saying? Like it's little small things like that that I think go perfectly for this program to where they could be in the position that they are winning two out of the last 3 years and in the 4 years he's been here and really well set up for success in the future when you look about the talent that they have coming back and what 6, 7 guys highly recruited freshmen that's like potentially draftable freshmen, you know what I'm saying, coming in. So I mean, he just keeps retooling year after year, and he's gonna hit the portal and bring some guys in. He's already done it, but now that he's finally get to just focus on just that, it's about to be crazy. I guarantee you, he's flying out tomorrow to meet with somebody. Like he ain't finna celebrate this championship for long before he finna go work on putting a roster together for next year.
Yeah, you talked about best fit for this program. We know the we know about LSU fans know about the pressure that is on football to win. Baseball is arguably the sport that has
It's
the
worse.
most pressure. Yeah,
I think it's worse than
yeah. Because you got such a legend in Skip Bertman who is still has a major presence on campus. So I want to ask this. Well, first I want to bring this up before I ask this. Jay Johnson's been at LSU in 4 years. For 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
the worst he's done is the finals of the regionals every year, at the very minimum. No matter what talent level he has, he's getting you to a point. And not only is he not in the finals, he's in the finals and he's losing by like 1 run. He's literally lost the finals by 1 run every year when he's lost, or he's been in the championship and won the championship.
Yeah.
He's 2 for 2 in Omaha. But I do want to ask this. What do you see the trajectory now that he's added his second championship? What is the trajectory that you see for this thing?
It's almost in a point to where Jay about to do himself no favors. Because he's winning. I'm not gonna say so easily, but so frequently, you know what I mean, that people are gonna expect the championship every couple years now. And I'm not gonna hold him to a ridiculous standard of being like, hey, every 4 years you gotta have 2 chips, you know what I mean? But I think let's say by 2030, I think he definitely has another chip and probably makes a regional every year. And I think the worst he'll do is probably a regional. Like I don't see this team on some Mike Bianco or Lamonis type fall off where they struggle after they win a chip and
Mhm.
don't make the tournament the next few years. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Um, I want to put a
I
little
got
bit of what. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
got a stat for you though.
All right.
So Jay Johnson has been he's 50% in Omaha at LSU, right? I mean 50%, 2 years. I mean 4 years, 2 chips. 50% of the seasons he's won a chip. LSU's been to Omaha 20 times. 40% of the time they win the national championship when
Mm.
they to Omaha. So let's say in the next 5 years, right? Let's say Jay makes it to Omaha 3 times. He gonna win one of them times just based off LSU's. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if he makes it the next 5 years, he's gonna win 2 of them based off LSU's track record.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh man. That is crazy. Let's play a little bit of what if, and I'm gonna go come back to today's game when I do this. To start this off, because we didn't talk about it. What if?
I don't even that doesn't matter, bro. Go ahead.
What if he doesn't get ejected? If Coastal Carolina's coach doesn't get ejected, what kind of an impact do you think that has on this game?
The only thing I could think of is when the pitcher started getting kind of hit a little bit, he might would have had a different approach of kind of stalling, walking to the mound visit. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that to try to break up LSU's rhythm and give his pitcher a breather and things like that. But I don't really think it would have made much of a difference in terms of them winning the game because they really couldn't hit LSU until late in the game. Other than that one home run that they had early, like
Mhm.
they really didn't have many runners on base until later in the game. So I don't really know how much it would have factored them hitting the ball. But honestly, I think that the starter had too much emotion. Um, Coming out, I felt like he was like too high. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And he got
mhm.
into it early, first inning with the LSU third base coach,
Yeah,
and
over nothing stupid.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then the next inning he kind of got into it with him again. You know what I mean? And so I just felt like the pitcher wasn't really in charge of his emotions, which I feel like led to him getting hit. The coach being there could have kept him calmer, you know what I mean? Like, but the way the coach wired up, I don't know if it would have helped or hurt it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, it might would have made him more wound up. So I don't really know how much of a difference it would have made. But all the people online talking about asterisk, bro, y'all can go somewhere with that, bro.
What's the asterisk about it?
Man, people saying that they get an asterisk beside it because the coach got kicked out the game in the
That they
first.
got to do it. The hell they got to do it in things. So it's what's funny. They asked Jay Johnson yesterday, uh, why didn't he protest or argue about the Dickerson hit batter, hit by pitch? And he mentioned specifically, if I did, I get thrown out, and I'm not in this game.
Yeah.
So that comes with maturity. That comes with knowing, maturity. That's basically what it comes down. Experience, coaching experience. Hey, like you said, he's it's never about him. It's about the program. And we've seen Jay Johnson get ejected this season. And when he got ejected, he immediately left because he said, if I stay, I miss another game. So he is fully aware and is does a great job with that. I only asked the what if because I do wonder the impact. I think the team had no emotional leader because I think even the coach, that's the interim coach or acting head coach at the time, I think he was emotionally overwhelmed at the time. It's like you could tell he looked like he was visibly like distraught, like he didn't
Yeah,
know what to do next.
I think
And with that first, even the first base coach, him
if
getting
he
ejected.
if he was there, I think they would have been better off. Cause
Yeah.
I think the first base coach was kind of like the number two.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And he got ejected. They was down to like the recruiting coordinator or something. You know, and I don't know how much he really ever been put in that position. You know what I mean? So I, I hate it for Coastal, but at the same time, I understand why it happened. Like
Mhm.
he got warned 3 times to back up, and he
Yeah.
stood right. Like all you gotta do is go back to your dugout and keep saying what you're saying. You know, like that's. But
Well, you can still get ejected because that's how Jay
yeah,
Johnson got ejected
I
during the season. But
understand that. But
but
my thing is in the college World Series, I don't think if you in your dugout, you would have got ejected. I think you got ejected because he told you 3 times to go back and you just stood there. Like if you would have went back to your dugout and said what you had to say, he probably would have brushed it off. But when you refuse to do what he asked you to do or told you to do, and you saying what you saying, nah, now you gotta go. You know what I mean? Like that's and the first base coach definitely getting tossed because you don't have the right to say
hmm,
anything anyway, bro.
yeah,
But yeah, I
almost
mean I just feel like both people should have handled that better, in my opinion. The umpire should have had a little more of a leash because it is the first inning of the college. Like it's the
that's what I
first inning.
kind of
If it was the fourth inning and you had and then like he done did it like a couple innings before, cool. But like the very first inning, I feel like you gotta have a little bit longer leash. But at the same time, if you a head coach, you got to be smarter and know that your team needs you in this win or go home situation.
fact.
You can't let your emotions get the best of you and jeopardize your team chance to win.
I completely agree. I said the same thing. Two things can be true. I think the coach deserved to get ejected, but I also think that the umpire had that leash a little too short.
Like you know what it is, bro? It's like when you're a police officer, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can pull him over, but do you really gotta write the ticket if he got it? Like if it's he going to a funeral, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you can let him slide. Like it's the championship of world. Like you can let him slide, bro. But when you don't pull over when you don't get back in the dugout, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right,
Yeah,
all bets off at this point, bro. Like,
yeah,
I gotta do what I gotta do.
yeah. Um, I don't know. What do you think this means in terms of recruiting now? Because as you mentioned, there are a lot of guys, young guys, who are maybe late first round, you know what I'm saying, late second round guys who, you know, on the bubble because we know that some guys have pulled their name from the what's called say I do want to go to college.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we start does this help in that case, or you think all right, people gonna go to if they're gonna go to the league, they're gonna go to the league?
I think a combination of all right. I'm gonna answer your question, but let me preface it by this.
Mhm.
I'd be very interested to see how LSU handles revenue sharing.
Mm,
Most schools have kind of said, 60 to 75% going to football. Another, 10 to 15 going to basketball, men's basketball, and the rest going to all the other sports. I'd be curious to see if LSU don't say, okay, we're gonna give 60, let's say 65% to football, we're gonna give 10% to men's basketball, and that puts you at 75%. Okay, we're gonna give 7, 8%, 10% maybe to baseball. You know what I mean? Because that's the sport that's winning. That's the sport that's giving you your national championships. You know what I mean? And so and even if you don't, maybe you see, okay, maybe you see the collective pick up the slack and say, because the football players are getting and basketball players are getting revenue sharing deals now, we don't got to give them as many NIL deals. So we're going to spend that money on giving baseball players NIL deals. So, some of these high school kids coming out, some of these transfer guys, like revenue sharing is going to be the same as it was at Ole Miss or, whatever, Texas or wherever you're going. But we got a nice NIL collective deal for you that you might not get nowhere else.
Yeah. Tyler says this better get some updates to the facilities. That I will say, as much as people talk about Alex Box and the lore and stuff, they also talk about how it is one of the worst stadiums in SEC as far as like
Like
the experience is great,
it's
but
not
the actual
it's not bomb or Duty Noble or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But like what makes the box special is the fans and the mystique and the aura surrounding it, bro.
facts.
It's kind of like Tiger Stadium. You know what I mean? Like there's some stadiums that got better lighting shows and that's got better video boards, better sound systems, or whatever the case may be than Tiger Stadium. You know what I mean? But when you pack 105, 102,000 fans in Tiger Stadium, it ain't too many places in the country that's better atmosphere. And that same goes with the box.
Yeah.
And honestly, them same fans and that same kind of mystique went to Omaha and they turned that into Alex Box North.
Yeah.
You said in the video of the players going to the game yesterday, they was leaving the hotel. It was like a 5-minute video of them walking out the hotel, and this fans just lined up like the Tiger Walk. You know what I'm saying? Just at the hotel, bro. Like it's insane the way they travel, bro.
They was talking about. They said it took Jay Johnson 90 minutes to get to his hotel, like to the hotel room or something like that. Said because it was just people like surrounding. Said then when he got there, Trey Morgan was in town. Was like, "Hey, coach, I'm trying to come see you."
That was
like, hey,
cool though. Like Trey and them played I think Thursday, Friday, in the minor league up there. So some of the LSU fans got to go watch him play in the minor league, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope. This last one I got for you. Where does this team rank amongst LSU championships as far as baseball championships?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, bro. Like, I think it's top 5 for sure. I'd probably put it like number 3. I think the '99 team was probably the greatest team ever. 2023 was special.
I think 2023 was just talent wise, but this, go ahead.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think this is if we're talking about who had the better season, this is ranked ahead of 2023. You know, but if you're talking about what's a better collection of talent, 2023 is ahead of this team.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, like 99, I think is number 1, no matter what you're talking about. You talking about best collection of talent, or well, I don't know. 2023, so you had number 1, number 2 pick back to back on the same team to beat. but they probably wasn't what. But this team probably 3 or 4 overall.
Yeah. Tyler say 4.
Yeah, I say 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. It's just something about with this new I say new format. It's been since since 2003 with the saying regional, super regional, college world series, and best of 3. To go undefeated, to lose only one game the entire of all the games you played, and to go undefeated.
I mean, the 2000 team is the best. They went undefeated in the whole postseason.
Postseason, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went 3-0 in the regional, 2-0 in the super regional, 4-0 in the college world series.
That's crazy.
Then 2009 they only lost one game the whole postseason, and that was in Omaha. They went 3-0 in the regional, 2-0 in the supers, 5-1 in Omaha.
Yeah. 2023 was the same thing. They only lost the
They lost
one
two.
at
They lost 2 in Omaha.
oh,
They
that's
lost,
right, because they lost
they
to
lost
Florida and they
Florida.
lost to Wake Forest. That's right.
Yeah. And in
Forgot about
2025, only lost 1 in the regional.
that.
So
Man.
and then 97, I know it was a little different, but they went 5-1 in the regional, 4-0 in the college world series. So they only lost 1 in the postseason. 96 went 4-0, then 4-0. So I mean, it's 91 went 4-0 and 4-0. So it's a little different formats. So it's kind of hard to compare them, but
Yeah.
I think they up there as like 3 or 4 in my opinion. I think obviously 2000 is the greatest. And then you got 2023, 2009. This one kind of all right there, neck and neck.
Yeah. So I do got one more question, because and it's a spin off of your question you asked the other day. You asked about who is the greatest coach, right? So I'm gonna ask this question. This is kind of spin. Now that Jay Johnson has won a second national championship, who has more pressure, Brian Kelly or Beth Torino?
Brian Kelly, by far, not even close. Like Beth Torino has a lot of pressure for sure, but I don't think people like if she makes a regional and loses to Southeastern or somebody like that again, she probably gonna be fired. Fair. But if she makes a regional and loses to Texas Tech, just throwing somebody out there, and she gets fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Brian Kelly don't make the playoffs, he's getting fired, in my opinion. I just feel like because they did so much for Brian Kelly in terms of NIL and transfer portal recruiting and trying to bring in everybody that he felt like he needed player-wise, but also coaching-wise, bringing in Atkins and Guidry and some, you know what I mean? And so, like, there's no excuse for you, bro. None whatsoever. Like Beth Torino lost arguably her best pitcher. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody that BK can say is that big of a loss to him as Bergeron was to Beth Torino.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think BK definitely, and I think this in a way this hurts BK because it was one thing that Jay had won one national championship, and you could say, oh, like he had Maneris guys, and you know what I mean, and then he went and just got Paul Skeens and won the title. Like, it's pretty much all his team right here.
Yeah. This
You know what
is
I'm saying?
absolutely, yeah.
Like you can't give nobody else credit for this. And so BK B, BK has ran out of options and excuses because like Jay Johnson has won 2 before you even made the playoffs. So like you gotta go natty or bust almost this year, bro. Like it's almost like how people was feeling about Penn State last year, right? Like the
Mm,
schedule worked for them and all that. Oh, it's the 12-team
mhm.
playoff now. You don't gotta play Ohio State. I mean, or you don't gotta play Oregon. You know what I mean? Like your schedule kind of favors you a little bit. So it's very similar to the pressure. Like you returning a good quarterback. You know, you got the pieces you need on the other side of the ball now. Like, it's no excuses for BK. If he don't make the playoffs, that seat warm. He's standing up all year.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. Um, man, that's all I got, man. You got anything else, man? Before we get out of here, I mean,
Nah,
man,
man. I just hell of a season to the baseball team, bro. The 2 best baseball teams in the country reside in the state of Louisiana. Shout out
yeah,
to LSU Shreveport Pilots and the LSU Tigers, national champs. Um, so yeah, man, like hell of a season to both of them, and it ain't really sunk in yet, but it will in a little while, bro. I'm still kind of on the high from today's performance, man. Like seeing a little video them guys put out yesterday with them calling like
oh,
previous, younger versions of themselves and stuff, man. And
boy, that had me ready to.
look like Braswell when he was talking about how tough it was at times and all that, bro. Like my allergies started bothering me at that exact moment and stuff, bro. And like, but to see him get rewarded with a championship, bro, like
Oh shit!
I'm just I'm just
Oh, Halliburton is out. He just whatever like
think
that Achilles.
yeah, that's the Durant. That's that Durant, bro. That's that.
Yeah, that's the Achilles, bro.
But yeah, I'm glad them boys was able to go. Oh, yep. Yep. I'm glad they was able to go out with one, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I hate that to see that, especially right now.
For real though.
Mm. All right, man. Well, shoot. Congratulations again to LSU, Coach Jay Johnson, Coach Yeski, Coach Jordan, that amazing staff. 2025 national champions. Yeah, I might have to go give me a hat. Like,
The best in the world.
I gotta give me a hat, like ASAP. Yep. All right, man. That's all I got here. We'll be back next week, possibly. Get ready to start talking some football. Start
That
breaking
time
stuff
now.
down. Yes, sir. Start breaking teams down.
Then we got
We'll
about
break.
10 weeks to the season start.
I don't know. I ain't did that stuff. Oh, also, I do want to put out there, man. Thank y'all. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Do us a favor, share this with people. We did hit 1,000 subscribers. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for, our LSU fan base who kind of got us there, got us started. Appreciate y'all, but also tune in on YouTube. Go watch. Check clips, send them to people. Trying to think what else we got, man. I think that's about it. If it's any stats, things you want to look at for football season, let us know because I can go ahead and break that down. I kind of found a little niche, man, pulling up these stats and stuff, man. I ain't got a little. I got my own spreadsheet now, Ant. Can't mess with me.
Uh-oh. Just don't have multiple. You got multiple,
Mhm.
you got a problem.
Okay, listen. Okay, I got my spreadsheet. All right, get up out of here, man. Stop.
When you start to excel, then people start to spreadsheet. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We out.
I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets. Cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocket here and stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future, but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again.